snatch it up, thrust through his midsection, and chop. All very direct, immediate, explosive techniques. I want you to close with and destroy as fast as you can when it comes to self-defense. I don't want to get into a prolonged battle with a bigger opponent. Spin is to develop some callus on your hands. It's going to get your heart rate up. You can do this standing or sitting. Once you do this for about 30 seconds to the side of your body, you're going to bring your hand over and back. Keep your stomach up and in, abs tight. Drop your chin. Keep your other hand up. You're going to start to go a little bit faster. One thing I noticed using this particular cane, I normally use my other cane for the warm-up, which is my dojo training cane. I'm going to use that when I hit the bag because this will break this bag. But this is a great self-defense everyday carry cane because of this feature right here. This is called a teardrop shape on the end. I wanted you to see that. But that makes this point right here, comes to a point all the way down the length of the cane. And when you strike with that and you hit against the upper arm or the shoulder, the elbow, the forearm, you're going to compress the flesh and then you're going to break that bone. Hello, David. But the point of me telling you that is because when I spin it, it moves a lot faster than my training cane. When you go over and back, you can really pick up speed. You can challenge yourself to grow when you switch your walking canes out. If you've been doing this for a while, then you might want to try using different canes for your warm-up. After you do that in one hand, put it in the other hand, pick up the speed when you're ready. And again, your hand's just mostly relaxed, but it's open enough that it can spin. You want to get that callus on the hand. Make sure your string doesn't catch you there. You go over and back, slow as smooth, smooth as fast. Bringing it to the other side. If you want to add this spin is spinning. Just the hands open. The thumb side still has the long side of the cane coming out, and you're just going around the outside of the back of the hand, kind of like a wrist roll. Good morning. I just saw your post just a little bit. I'll go back and I'll check these comments in the comment section. So if you have a question or a comment, I'd love to read that. Please put it in the comment section in addition to the chat, and I'll get to it there. Now, I'm going to switch over to this one because, as I said, if you train with one of these, you might have one of these. This is the Cane Masters Traveler cane. This thing is nasty for self-defense. This tooth here is designed to rip flesh and to dig in and get the bone. Redding, thank you for that comment. He says thank you for the videos. But that part right there is specially made for self-defense. You also have that bevel here, but this one's a little bit more aggressive. And then this feature right here, that teardrop shape, that will compress flesh. If you do this enough, and you're using your bag, it's going to tear your bag. So don't use this on your bag. Certainly don't use that part. But I just wanted to show you that in the warm-up. I've been spinning with that lately. I'm gonna go back to my dojo training cane and show you the first of 10 strikes I want you to practice. And this is, I like to start with the most basic, the fastest, get it into use quickly. And that's this lifting motion, turning the wrist, pulling up the lower part of the arm, and swinging that upper part of the arm, that big long lever, bringing that up between his legs or maybe under his chin. You can go higher. Once you get it into this motion, you want to immediately stop him in his tracks. He's coming to try to hurt you. That's your first strike. From here, you can put it in your other hand and you can thrust. So from here, snatch it up and then step in and thrust. With two hands on it, you're going to be able to push it through his body for self-defense. So 1, 2. The third one from here I like to have you practice is bring it to your shoulder in your front hand and chop down along the outside of his head. This is how you fight with your walking cane for self-defense. Snatch it up, thrust through his midsection, and chop. All very direct, immediate, explosive techniques. I want you to close with and destroy as fast as you can when it comes to self-defense. I don't want to get into a prolonged battle with a bigger opponents, multiple attackers, maybe someone who's got a bladed weapon. If he's coming at you, snatch this up fast, make him stop, thrust through the middle, and if he's still coming, bring it up and chop. 2 or 3 times. That's 3 basic easy strikes you can practice. Put it in your other hand, practice on the other side. From here, 1, 2, bring it through and chop. Now from here, I want you to turn the cane around so that it's in this position, so that the crook is facing behind you. You're gonna slide your hand down the front and bring it up like a sword. From here, there's the threat. I just put it between me and the threat, and then I'm gonna thrust. So number 4, the 4th strike, is going to be coming from you to him through your midline. Think about striking nose, teeth, throat, wherever you can, solar plexus, into this soft tissue, especially between the belly button and the private parts. There's that thin fascia. You're gonna stick it there, make him stop. In this position, bring your hand to your shoulder. This is your right hand. You're gonna bring it to your right shoulder and you're gonna push forward. This slashing strike, coming off that shoulder, turning your shoulders and hips, extending the arm, and then taking, you can see my front foot steps in a little bit as you come through with that strike. When you take that little step, you're gonna bring it through with a lot of speed and power. You're gonna be able to stop him in his tracks. So from here, number 4, slide down the front, step behind your weapon, thrusting to the face, from your shoulder, coming across. Think about striking on his temple for number 5. Number 6, bring it from that other shoulder and strike on the other side. From here, we're gonna make 7 2 strikes, bring it across and bring it back. These horizontal strikes, 1, 2. Just practice striking into his body. Maybe you're coming down to the knee, into the upper arm. Maybe he's reaching out with something. You're gonna smash into his hand, break that hand. Anything you hit with this, with that kind of force, you're likely to break that bone. So from here, your hand slides down, put it between you and him, get behind it, thrust, shoulder, shoulder, one side, coming back, and then straight down on top, smashing the head. So from here, the 4th strike was step behind it, 5th strike, shoulder, 6th, 7, 8, down over top. Now 9, I want you to take 2 hands and blast them into his teeth for self-defense. When you learn how to fight with your walking cane for self-defense, you want to keep it super simple. There are a lot of fancy moves that you can do with it. You can do all this spinning that we did for the warm-up and try to keep him back. I've heard many people say no one's going to want to walk into that, and I'm not arguing for it or against it in this video. I'm just saying that in addition to that, think about what's practical, what works, what's simple, what's immediate, direct, and explosive. Immediate means right away. Direct means the shortest distance between 2 points is that straight line. And explosive, I mean going all in. You want explosive power, you need extension, you need rotation of the shoulders and hips. When you take a little step, you have that acceleration of that strike. That's immediate, direct, and explosive. So from here, sliding in, thrust, shoulder 1, shoulder 2, and at the end, pushing 2. Brandon says, what's the cue to make your first strike? I always believe in the first mover advantage, Brandon, and this is somewhat controversial, I guess. Some people say, you know, if you watch movies, this used to be a thing that when they would write a movie, and if you would know it was a good guy because he would have to get hit before he would hit back, right? The good guy was always on defense. But we know for a fact that if you know you're in imminent danger, you know someone's about to attack you, someone's getting ready to throw the punch, your likelihood of being able to block that is not that great. Your ability to survive that attack is not that great if you are always on the defensive. But if you learn how to read their cue, so what the cue, you know, the guy is coming back, you can see it in their eyes most of the time. Just the fact that he's balled up his fist or he pulls out a weapon, he pulls out a bladed weapon, there's nothing else for you to think about. That's the cue. As soon as you see that weapon, you're all in, right? And you're trying to knock him out, hit him in the head, turn off his operating system if you can so you don't have to worry about that knife. Or if you have to smash through his wrist and, you know, from the wrist to the head for self-defense, trying to, because you don't know what other weapon he has, or maybe there are multiple attackers, but not waiting to become the victim. You're not in a movie. This is not a TV show. You're not Jason Bourne and you were pushed and pushed and pushed and then finally you had to defend yourself. This is some thug comes up and he probably hit you from behind. You didn't even know it. There's your cue. Now that your ears are ringing and you're seeing stars and you're half knocked to the ground, or maybe you're getting up off the ground, there's your cue. There's nothing else to wait for. Immediate direct explosive, and if you can, first mover advantage. You get into a better position. From here, there are 3 ways to do that. Number 1, in this position, hand down the front of the cane, and you're standing like this. Always behind it, cane between you and him. You have that thrust, you have those angular strikes we talked about, your horizontal strikes, your vertical strikes. You put 2 hands on it, you're pushing strike. Right from here, you can beat the sides of his head for self-defense. You can take this crook and stick that in the flesh of his face and rip sideways to remove the skin, the nose, the teeth out of his mouth, the eye out of his head for self-defense. Ripping. He's got a knife, he's trying to take your life. Maybe you take away his vision, right? Take away his ability to breathe, temporarily or permanently. But you pull this in here, taking the back of it and smashing with 2 hands. John says his aluminum cane is a little too heavy. Maybe go for a lighter cane. You can, John, if you want to do all of these extra moves and they're too heavy with your aluminum cane, sure, get a lighter cane. You can even go, I put a link below. This is something we couldn't get because of the COVID, but now it's back. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word. You know, they're always, the algorithms don't like certain things. But this is made out of rattan. Rattan is a grass, it's super lightweight. You can see how much faster, I'm also spinning it faster, but you can see how much lighter it is than the heavier cane, and it moves still fast. That might be a way, starting with a light cane, they're very inexpensive, it's the second link below, but that might be a way to build your strength and to work up to a heavier wood cane or maybe your aluminum cane that you carry, and use your aluminum cane for self-defense after you train with this and build your skills. Or you can carry this rattan cane. This is a medical device. This cane works. This is a walking cane. It has the crook. This doesn't have that beveled edge, but you're still gonna do a lot of damage. You stick that in someone's eye, you stick it in his ear, you stick it in his neck, you stick it down deep in that muscle, you reach in and grab and pull him down. This also acts as a big knuckle, as a big fist, right? You can push that in. I was starting to say there were 3 ways to get in a better position for self-defense. Always stand behind it, slide your hand down and pick it up, or you can pick it up and let it slide in. Number 2, crook facing out, pop it up in this position. And number 3, going back either way, either in this position or this position, just turning, pointing your thumb at the threat. Pointing your thumb at the threat, pops it into the front hand. Now this is the solution, anchored to your hip. If he grabs your cane and tries to pull it away from you and whap you with it, you put your hand on your hip, and if your hands are away from your hip and he's pulling on it, you're gonna be doing one of these with your arms, a tug of war. There's a good chance if he's stronger, he might rip it away. But if you anchor it to your body, then he's gonna be pulling against your body weight. And I don't know how much your body weighs, but it's usually stronger than most people's grip, right? So if you're holding it here, it's gonna be harder for him to pull it out of your hands. Now, you make a circle with the front hand. Back hand is an anchor. Back hand doesn't move. It's touching your body somewhere. Front hand just churns, making this turning motion. This is not a very hard motion to make because it's a small circle. And it comes around and then down. Turn. If he's on the other end of it, his hands are gonna twist like this. You're gonna compromise his grip. It's gonna push up his wrist like that. And then as it goes down, it's gonna break his grip. Meaning either it's gonna break his wrist if you go down hard and fast, or it's just gonna loosen it up so that when you come down, his hands are gonna fall off and then you're gonna stick him through the middle, right? So he grabs your cane, let him have it. Twist it, push down, step in, and thrust. And once you thrust and you back him up a little bit, add an extra motion here, a ripping motion here, that rifle butt attack, thrusting through the middle. And the other reason I like these direct thrusting motions is because most people, if they have some mobility issues in their shoulders, if they're sitting in a wheelchair, they're not able to do a lot of the slashing motions. That's okay. Do what you can do, pushing from here, pushing from here. Anything in the center line for most people is going to be a lot stronger, a lot easier to do than coming off of the shoulders if you don't have the shoulder mobility, or if your shoulders just aren't as strong anymore. The two cane principle, a lot of people say, well, if I need a cane for mobility and I pick up my cane and fall on the ground, then how am I going to defend myself? Then I suggest using two canes. One cane to lean on, one cane to hit him with. You can bring this one up next to his head, down over the top, thrust through the middle, striking one, striking two. All of the strikes work, except for the two-handed strikes, obviously. You can turn your crook around, pop it up, punch him with that big knuckle, reach in, rip something off of his body for self-defense, right? Or maybe just dig into the muscle. You can chop him like an axe, a firefighter's axe, right? Chopping down a tree. You can do all of that while you're leaning on the other cane. If you snatch it up between his legs, stick it through his chest, smash him on top of his head, slide your hand down, put it in your, like a sword, thrust through, striking the angles, horizontal, down the middle, two hands pushing through, ripping through the skin, using that rifle butt. And I know we're more than 10 now, boxing the sides of his ears, slide your hand, pop it up this way with the crook facing out, punch him in the nose, reach up, rip something off of his body for self-defense, chop him like an axe, right? I mean, these are just, there's no limit to how